Hey guys, Adam from Equipped Indoor. So a while back I did a intro, kind of an overview of the Rush 24 from our friends at 511. Pretty good bag. I want you guys to know, since I did that video, actually before I did that video, they do have some recent modifications of that bag. One particular thing is the straps, compression straps on the underside to make sure you can, tie down some additional equipment underneath the bag when you're carrying it, if you're not wearing something like a butt pack or something like that. Anyway, we shot that bag over to Chance Sanders because I'm not in a position right now to throw a 20, 30-pound bag on my back to give it a proper test out. But Chance got a chance to use that for the last several months. He's got some input and some final thoughts on that bag. So without further ado, Chance, take it away, brother.
In a world where there can only be one pack, one company stands to make a difference. All right, sorry. Hey guys, I'm Chance Sanders with Equipped Indoor, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Rush 24 pack from 511. Key intro. Guys, thanks for checking us out. Today, like I said, we're going to be talking about the Rush 24 pack. This pack is from 511. I've had it for about 3 months now, and I've been running it through its paces, packing all kind of stuff in here, seeing how it carried, how it felt on my shoulders, how it felt on my back. It's not meant to be, some 4-day, 5-day rucksack, hence the name Rush 24. I'm not sure about the rush part. I think they want you to rush out and buy one, but we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so first and foremost, what I got in this pack or on this pack, and I'm going to go through it and show you what I put in here. I know Adam went through and put some stuff in there, but just give you guys a feel for the things I like to carry in the woods or anywhere. This doesn't have to be a woods pack. It can be a get-home bag. It can be a truck bag. It really sits right at about the weight and size that you want to have. In that type of scenario, you definitely don't want a big mountain climbing rucksack as far as a get-home bag, because you're probably going to have to move a lot on foot and in different scenarios. So it's about the size bag that I would recommend for that type of thing. So getting started, first off, I've obviously got my Madison Parker slingshot. Can't go anywhere without that. Okay, the way I like to do my packing stuff, and I'm just going to explain this and give you guys an idea about why I do things the way I do. I like packs that have smaller pouches on the outside that work their way into a main compartment. And it's not anything new. We've been doing that in the military for a long time. I know a lot of people with the Molly, they put pouches on top of pouches on top of pouches. When you start doing that with a pack this size, you end up with basically the same thing as a Rush 72 or a mountain ruck. I mean, you can overload this thing to the point of being ridiculous, and you kind of lose what it's even meant for to begin with, which is to be a smaller size pack. Not to say that Molly's not a good thing or whatever they're calling it these days, but basically places to hang your crap on. It's a good thing to have. Attachment points are great, but you can't overload yourself. So in keeping with the theory of it being a 24-hour pack, I didn't want to add anything to it to take away from that part. So getting started, obviously you can see what's first and foremost on my mind. I've got my spoon always at hand, and no, this one I don't plan on turning into a spear like I did in the other video. First things first, let's start on the outside of the pack all the way around, see what's out there, and then we'll work our way inside. Okay, on this outer pocket here, this main big pocket, on this first thing I got on the outside here is my first aid kit. And that's basically a trauma kit from Adventure Medical Kits, a trash bag, a couple of feminine items, and some duct tape. I also have some other things in here that are first aid related, but in a nutshell, first aid. I also have a small set of binos. These particular ones are Minoltas. They're 10 by 25 waterproof, and the reason I like having binos is in a wilderness situation, it's really nice to pull out and be able to see, a bird or some type of animal, wilderness wildlife viewing kind of thing. In other scenarios, it's really helpful to see what's going on around you in order to plan your next move, i.e. covering an open area, seeing what's going on, and knowing whether you should take that move or not, or stay put. So kind of a dual purpose item in that sense. So small pair of binos. I've got a cutting tool. I've got my Baco Laplander. You guys have seen this plenty. We've talked about this before. You know what it is. I also have a platypus, just a small water container here, that if you're in a situation where you are carrying a lot of water, you're going to go through a lot of water. But if you find a water source, it's best if you drink as much water as you can, and also to fill up as many containers of water, because you don't know when you're going to hit water again. Probably the best bet in a survival situation is to be camped out near water. So, but we have the added option. It doesn't take up a lot of room, but we can carry more water with us. Water is key. Also in this particular pouch, I have a space blanket. This is one of the reusable space blankets. I'm not exactly sure where this one came from. I got it from a good buddy of mine, so more to follow on that one. Now, I'll tell you, I really was not even able to utilize all of the different little pockets and pouches that's on this thing. These here in the front, you've got two here that obviously you could stuff things down into. And this thing's just layered. It looks like sort of an admin style pouch here to put your pins and whatnot in. And a couple of pouches that are probably would work to hold a couple of M4 type magazines. Behind that, I've got some safety pins there. You've got another pouch here. And the one thing about this, if you fill up all of these little pockets, you're not going to have too much room in the main compartment of this pack, because it kind of fills it up. So, you know, if you have stuff that's bigger items, like the space blanket, like the med kit that I've got as a single kit, I'm going to use that main portion of the pack. I'm not going to break everything down just to fit every little nook and cranny of the pack, but they're there if you want to. In line with the food procurement, I've got some ready-made cable snares here. Make sure you guys can see those. And those are available from a couple different places. I think I got these from snareshop.com. Check those out. All right, so that's just this main outer portion here. It's not a lot of stuff, but it's things that if I need to get to it quickly, i.e. get a shelter up or treat some kind of first aid, I can do that. This pouch here, going up to the top here, smaller pouch, this is my navigation pouch. I've got a Explorist from Magellan, just a little handheld GPS. Now, this by itself, I'm not going to trust it, so I'm going to back that up with a map. And this is a map that's printed on Tyvek. You guys have seen me talk about this before. I got this from mytopo.com. You can have them print out a map of pretty much anywhere you want, in any style you want, whatever grid kind of set you want. And I've got this one on a pretty big grid pattern, so I can see my local area. So a map would not be worth anything if you did not have a compass. This is a Silver Ranger compass, and I've used a few compasses, and this is the one that I like. You got your navigation, land nav stuff right here. All right, also in this, the way this pocket does is there's a little mesh on the inside here, and there's kind of a soft, fuzzy kind of material right here. I've just got another flashlight. This is a Phoenix PD3 flashlight. It takes 123 batteries and it's LED. It's got multiple settings. So there's that. On the other side, I've got my fire kit. And it's just a plastic container. I've got some duct tape around it, as you see. It's pretty much standard. Ferro rod, Vaseline soaked cotton balls, and I've also got some steel wool in there as well. So that's a fire kit. Boom. So that covers these two pouches. Those also, I've just got a little write in the rain pad, so you can take down your thoughts, write your last will and testament, whatever you need to do. All right, going into, and it also does have these two straps to kind of cinch everything down, and you could hang stuff off that if you really wanted to. But with all the attachment points on this thing, I really wouldn't want to put anything on a buckle that I'm going to be putting together and unbuckling and buckling and unbuckling. So on the outside, on this side, I have like a gajillion feet of freaking bank line, because I like bank line and it works pretty good in the woods. So I think that's a lot more than the 5 feet of cord I could carry for that size. Got a little bit of bug juice, because down here in the south we got a lot of mosquitoes and it's starting to get springtime and they're really going to be out. I'll probably have to use some before the end of this video. Let's see. All right, that's it for that outer pocket. This outer pocket, we have a spare knife. In this case, my spare knife is a Chris Reeve. It is a hollow-handled, all one-piece A2 steel knife. It does have the back end that you can screw out, and I do plan on doing another video on these knives in particular. I have two of them right now, one for myself and one is going to Mr. Robert Oliver. Compliments of yours truly. All right, so we got a spare cutting tool. I also have, and this is something that you need to look at as far as your jurisdiction and where you live and what's legal and what's not legal. I have an asp baton, and this is a non-lethal tool. I always carry a firearm with me, but not every situation rates somebody getting shot in the chest. So I carry my asp baton that I can hopefully beat some sense into somebody. All right, now we covered all of our, and if you actually look at this stuff, what I have in front of me right now is a fairly good survival kit in and of itself. All this stuff in the outer pockets is a fairly good survival kit in and of itself, but let's move on further. Now, going in the big pouch. This pack will open up all the way open for the most part and let you see all the goodies inside. Up top, I've got, I think this is 36 ounce Nalgene bottle with a little coffee cup, nesting cup, whatever you want to call it. It does nest and it works. All right, so I like this because I can boil water in this one, pour the clean water in, boil more water, or vice versa. If I want to fill this container up, it might be better to boil the water in here, pour it in there, let it cool off, and I can be drinking water while the rest of it is boiling. But I can cook food, I can have water. It's a good kit. Now, at the top of this particular pack, I also have another tarp. This is another steel nylon tarp. I don't know where I got the stuff sack from. Obviously it's seen some dirt time, but I believe my Pathfinder tarp is in here. Cover anything else, water and shelter is very, very important. So we're gonna cover shelter. We're gonna take care of our body's core temperature. Here I have a Marine Corps issued bivy sack. I spent 8.5 years in the Marine Corps, in the infantry, and I can attest to the value of this piece of gear. So it goes with me. This is something I picked up recently. I actually got it from Madison. This is the Recon 3. It says -5 degrees Celsius. I'm a Fahrenheit kind of guy, but I think it's rated down to about 30 degrees. And don't quote me on that one. But it is a very easily, very compressed sleeping bag. So we got that taken care of. Now, a shelter system, something I've gotten turned on to recently as far as shelter goes and how I sleep in the woods. I really love a hammock, and I have a hammock. This one's from Trek Light. It's the only hammock that I've owned, and it is great. I love it. Now that I've started sleeping in hammocks, I don't know how I could have done without them. If you live in the desert, I can understand you doing something different, but for me, this is where it's at. So there's my hammock. All right, now going to the bottom, When I said this was a 24-hour pack, my concept on this is it should sustain you without anything else for 24 hours. That means you got enough food, you got enough water, you got shelter, you've got everything you need in a contained, imagine you are Luke Skywalker and you've just crash landed on the freaking Dagobah system. You know, he's got his little kit and his bird. Well, this is your kit, so keep that in mind. And I've got some good old, these are chili with beans, MRE, meals ready to eat, or as Ron Hood would say, meals rejected by everyone. Why I don't carry freeze-dried food, Mountain House, things like that in this type of bag is because this is ready to eat. I don't have to stop and build a fire. I don't have to bust out a stove. I don't have to heat up and boil water. I can eat this right out of the pack. So I've got 2 of these in here, and before anybody tells me, I know that you can break these down and get rid of the cardboard and all that other kind of good stuff before you pack them. You can field strip them. Well, when you're a Marine or a soldier, that's great. You're carrying 5, 6, 7 MREs in a pack, works great. For me, there's things I can do with these containers. I can use this outer wrapping as another water container if I need to. So now I've got 2 more water containers. If I dished these things before I left and was in a bad situation and found water, I'd want as many water containers as I could possibly carry. So, and also they have matches and things like that inside of them. So, 2 MREs. And as you can tell, inside here there's the mesh pouch. That's where I believe my hammock was in here, and I had the MREs in here. So let's see what we got over here. Nothing in that one. Coming back up the other side, I've got some additional fire making. This is jute twine that has a piece of fat wood or fat lighter or whatever a pitch pine, whatever you want to call it. Smells good though. All right. This is a very small Adventure Medical Kits, little bivy sack, and because I had some spare room in it, I tossed in, hey, some more steel wool. Gotta have that fire. But let me tell you what you can do with this. You can take this Mylar bag, put that with your trash bag that's over there in our first aid kit, and in between this bag and the trash bag, fill it full of leaves, not ticks and twigs because it'll rip through it, but pine needles or leaves, and create basically a sleeping bag. So I like having that. And what I tell you, there we go. We got our big contractor trash bag. These things are indispensable. You can make water catchment systems with it. You can make more shelter. You can use it as a over your head type of shelter, a poncho if you will. My wife and I actually used that up in Colorado when it started snowing on us. Really important piece of gear here. It is a SAS hood over, or baklava, if you want to call it that. We wear them at work. We call them black lavas because we're funny that way. All right, last one. I've got some Marine Corps issued beanie cap to keep my head warm. And I got a pair of flight gloves. And I do believe that is all of the contents of this pack. So when you look at the pack itself, it's not that big. But like I said, with the exception of more food and more water, I fairly well got everything covered with the exception of self-defense, which I carry on my person anyway. There's obviously room to put some spare magazines for your handgun or long gun in there. But I'm telling you guys, I was pretty excited about what all I could fit in this pack. I have a bad problem going to the woods and overpacking. I want to take everything in the world because I think I might want it and might need it. If you want to carry a smaller kit to the woods, carry a smaller pack because you can only fit so much into it. So that has been my overview of the 511 pack, the Rush 24 from 511. And if you guys have any questions, For me, just email me at chance@equiptoendure.com. Check out our website, check out our videos, and stand by for more product reviews to come your way. If you're not always prepared, you're never prepared.
Awesome stuff, Chance. Thank you very much. Well, guys, let me know what you think about that. Very cool item. We might have to check out some other bags from 511 here in the near future. I know you guys had a lot of suggestions about which bags we should try out, and we definitely going to have to look at that here real soon. Well, you guys, Adam from Equipped Endure. If you guys have any questions or comments from me, you can reach me at adam@equippedendure.com. You can check out Chance at chance@equippedendure.com. Make sure to check out the website at www.equippedtoendure.com. A lot of great stuff going on there all the time. Some extra videos for everybody. Membership is free. There's some great content for free members. Make sure to check that out, from articles to blogs to videos that aren't on YouTube. Let us know what you guys think about that. Well, anyway, guys, you guys take care. Be safe out there. And remember, if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared. Thanks.
This thing is, let's start over. I'm doing too many uhs and ah and If you're not always prepared, you're never prepared.
Nobody's gonna think that crap is funny. Ugh.